Now, the rest of the story.
I figured I'd try to talk to you guys for a few minutes. I don't sound like Mickey Mouse anymore, but I certainly did lose my voice, so I'm going to do my best. I'm currently harvesting my field. That's my farm that I bought 2 years ago. 2 years ago, the year Calvin was born. So I'm constantly trying to do trials and experiments. One thing I would like to do is to get away from having to do tillage every other year. And don't take that statement like I hate tillage. I'm not against tillage. I just want to do it when it's necessary. And what I've been pushing for is a 2-1 rotation. 2 years of corn, 1 year of beans. You no-till the corn into soybean stubble, then you go back into corn after that first year of corn, so you chisel the stalks the same fall that you harvest your first crop of corn. And when you do your second year, that's your tillage. Then when you go to plant your beans, you no-till your beans offset of the corn rows, not do anything to the field, left the stalks standing. You can't even tell that there were stalks there harvesting it. But try to get up to speed. Yield-wise, I'm in the 70s, and that's what I was really wanting to see. If I'm not seeing much yield drag, if any, no-tilling my beans in between the stalks, that's going to be my plan from this point going forward. Feel the beans perform better after 2 years of corn, gives the ground a chance to rest, and then that first year of corn's no-tilled into soybean stubble is where I'm really looking for higher yields. The year that it ran 270, it was behind soybean stubble, and that's what I'm looking to do next year. I'm trying to set myself up for that, but weather plays a lot into it. But if you can take as many of the outside factors of soil fertility and plant health and try to take out all that you can, planting the right hybrids. The corn hybrid that I'm planning on planting here next year is actually one of 2 hybrids I planted elsewhere on a smaller scale, and I'm anxious to see how those corn varieties yield. I mean, this is what I would actually prefer harvest-wise. We're still in September. We're about a quarter of the way done with soybeans. I'm hoping we'll be done, or really close to being done by next weekend. And honestly, might actually have a little bit of time between soybean harvest and corn harvest to try to do some odd job projects, because we don't have any hay to make or anything. We gotta maybe haul some hay home or move some hay around. That second hay wagon we got was a huge help, very big help. Allows you to haul in with one tractor and one skid steer, we were hauling in 18 bales a turn, 2 with the skid steer and then 16 on the wagons. The 79 didn't even know it was back there. So personally, as much as I would like to buy one of those 30-foot long JBM wagons, you know, they can house like 14 bales on the bottom and you can stack bales on top. One of those is $13,500, where I can buy 2 of these wagons for half of one of those wagons. And they're a little bit more versatile. They're not as long. They're dolly wheels. They can turn in our waterways. That's probably the way I'm going to steer. That's where I'd like to be. I would actually like 2 more of them, so we can all, with 2 tractors and 4 wagons, and haul hay in a hurry. Where we'll see the most benefit from that is going to be first crop hay, first crop grass off the valley, and then making corn fodder in the fall, regardless of how many bales we make, because that's always the name of the game when we make corn fodder, is just trying to get them off as fast as possible. So the beans don't look nearly as dirty as they do in the window. All of the trash and residue that you see, it floats on top of the pile, and it actually ends up on the outside around the edges. The beans themselves are actually very clean, and we have yet to get any dock on foreign material. So I would rather run it with the potential of getting a few more husks in it, with the potential of grabbing a few more beans, than risking throwing beans out the back. But we'll get done with beans. I want to blow the head out, get the head put back away yet. I don't want to, try not to let it get rained on so it's still shined up, and blow the combine off, get all the soybean dust off it that I can, so it's not stacking corn dust on top of soybean dust. Just isn't worth it. But it's hanging right in the mid-70s. The field average currently is still under 70. My headlands burned me. My outside 12 rows only ran 45. I had emergence issues. I had compaction issues. I disked the outside 24 rows where they bulldozed this spring. I harrowed it. I planted it. I'm dealing with compaction. The plants just really didn't want to come up. We did rotary hoe a bunch of the beans because they were crusted over. Wasn't really sure if it would work, because I've had plenty of people say you're gonna hurt the bean plants, just hope for a rain. Well, hoping for a rain is, hope is a 4-letter word. Well, what we ended up doing is dragging the rotary hoe over it, and what that did is it dinged the top part of that crust, that it weakened it enough those beans were able to push through and not break off. They're on the stems. And the part of the field that I harrowed, that I rotary harrowed, versus the part of the field that I replanted, the part where I just rotary harrowed actually yielded better where I replanted, because I put down a bunch more extra plants. They required that much more moisture, and late in the season, when we got into August and the moisture was non-existent, it hurt it. But what I'm hoping, my field average is at least gonna end up over 70. But I don't know. Overall, I'm happy. It might not sound like it. my kids and my wife have all been sick, and I've been the one Lone Ranger able to stay healthy, and now the rest of them are still sick. I got it, and it hit me pretty rough because nobody else lost their voice. Like I said, there's nothing like staying healthy, like your kid turning to you smiling and then coughing all over your face when they are covered in snot. But you love them though, right? Yeah, that's about all I can really talk, guys. I'm sorry. I'll get you some more soybean harvesting videos. The no-tilling beans into corn residue was a win. I think it's worth to keep doing. The reason I feel like I can keep doing it on this field in particular is because it's straight back and forth. All I had to do was offset my corn rows 15 inches, and all of my corn stalks are still standing from last fall, which I think is pretty neat. There's no real fiber to them or nothing. They just fall apart. They're broke down, and I'm looking forward to planting into this soybean stubble next year. So it's the GPS and the technology that we have is huge. The planter being set up the way it is was not set up this way when it ran. It was the last year that it was set up with finger pickups, and it didn't have the electronic drives. When I planted it, it ran 270, and I'm really looking to see high 200s again. I'm not willing to say, I'm going to see 300 across it, but I'm probably going to throw the grocery store at it. It's one of those fields where I really want to see what it can do. It makes me feel good that we can actually get this ground to perform and do something. I'm extremely happy that I was able to purchase this piece of ground. The way it lays and everything else. We got Dad and Ryan are gonna catch what I got in the combine. We're gonna fill the truck. Looks like Ryan's gonna jump in with me, and I'm gonna shut you off before Ryan gets in here. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll talk to you later.